Alright, so this morning we're going to compare the Nike SportWatch, very stylish, against the Garmin 205, which is the workhorse of the Garmin series. The 305 model has sensors in it, and this model, the 205, does not have sensors. So you cannot connect it to a heart rate monitor or your shoes. But it does have a training mode and a biking mode. The Nike SportWatch is basically for runners. Everything about it is runners. It has ability for 3 sensors. You have the GPS, your shoes, and your heart rate monitor. And basically the Garmin has only the GPS. But it's extremely accurate, and it's considered the watch to compare others against. So this morning we're going to take a look at both watches and compare one against the other for accuracy and see how they do. So the Garmin Forerunner basically is in the off position. You have a choice to have it on and have the GPS off and then turn the GPS on when you need it. The problem is that this watch has a battery life of maybe 6 to 8 hours, so you probably don't want to use the GPS for too long. So basically when I turn it on with this button here on the side, it will come to life and it will find the satellites. It's quite quick most times, and it should be ready to go. We'll see how long it takes. Now at the lower left, if it's flashing, there we go. We've pretty much got our satellites in place and ready to go. No more flashing, all is good. Satellites ready to go. Nice big display, easy to read, great for runners. Now we take the Nike. So here we have the Nike watch, Nike Sport Watch, and in order to connect the sensors, just press in the green button. Now I have 2 sensors. I have a GPS and my shoe sensor. So it's found one sensor, but it's looking for the other. It gives you a quick start mode. It means I found your shoe. There we go. So now it's found the satellite. In the quick start mode, if it would have just stayed with that display, it meant it had one sensor. You could start running and it will quickly find the other one and carry on. So it found the satellites pretty quick there. All I have to do now is press start and we're off. So the Garmin is ready to go and the Nike. So we'll go for a run and we'll see how it turns out. So that's 2.5 kilometers done. There's the Garmin. You can see its time. Distance 2.6. Time. Average pace at the top 5.37. It's changing because the time's still going. So now I stop the watches. Stop the Nike, hold it down. It gives you a readout. Gives you your best ever. Must have went fast. That's what the Garmin gives. Nike scrolls through a bunch of stuff. Gives all your data. The Garmin just stays stationary. And at the bottom on the Nike on the bottom are the laps set to however you like. And the Garmin is stationary. Alright, so let's go upload these two to their websites and see what the data and the maps show.
The Nike SportWatch is pretty innovative. The USB dongle is built right into the strap. You can either connect the watch directly to the USB on your laptop or desktop computer, or you can use the provided USB extension. The watch will then charge and it will upload the data to the Nike website. After the Nike SportWatch is connected to your computer, the Nike Connect software will load up and attempt to grab the data off your watch and upload it to the Nike website. There's been a problem with Nike. As you can see on my screen, I had to click retry because the servers become overloaded. So finally here I've hit retry once, and now my data is uploading. At this time you can see the bar moving across the screen. After the data uploads, if you haven't used your watch in over 24 hours, the Nike website will then download the satellite positions to your watch What this does is it means next time you use your watch within 24 hours of having connected to a computer in your city, you will connect to the satellites extremely fast. It knows exactly where they are and where you are. So there's no standing around waiting before a run for something to connect. As soon as your data has been uploaded from the watch, the Nike website starts up and you can see your run instantly on the screen. It shows your distance, your pace, the time of the day the run happened, and how long the run took. Also, you can add how you were feeling, the conditions, sunny, as I have here, and I was running on a road, and you can put some comments in. One of the problems with the Nike website is that sometimes your GPS data is not readily available. Here you can see I have 4 runs with no GPS data, and you can click on the run, and it says, well, I can show you your data, but I can't show your GPS data. So there's ways around it. Either you wait a long time and hopefully cross your fingers that it shows up. What I do is I just hit refresh on the screen and my data usually shows up instantly. So I hit refresh and here we go. Here's my data. When your data appears, you'll actually see your run, where you started from and where you ended up. Colors that are light in color, such as the yellows and greens, is when you ran the fastest. Your pace was quite quick. And the darker colors, when they go to red, is when your pace is much slower. So on this graphic, as you can see your run occurring, it becomes quite useful. You can see how well you were doing. Your data is shown below. It changes as it goes. You can see your elevation in green. My mouse pointer is pointing at that now. As you drag your mouse over top of anything, you can see the run change. There's my pace. Down below are lap times. You can switch those into lap times that you've created if you wish. There's my data on how I felt on the run. I have a choice. I can either scroll over the graph and I can see the run, exact points of where this occurred on the run, where my pace slowed, where the elevation increased or decreased, and the data is displayed in real time on the screen as I'm moving the cursor. So the information is quite useful. You can really analyze a run after it's been done. This is a short run. If this had been a half marathon, it'd be a lot more important. The Nike website also allows you to look at your run via GPS in a more compressed view. You can see a satellite view of your run, where you went, and all the data is displayed on the right in a more compressed view. All your information is right there on one page. You can also share your runs. Nike allows you to share via Twitter or Facebook how you did. The Garmin Forerunner 205 requires a mounting unit in order to connect to the computer. So in this case we attach the watch to the mounting unit and then we just plug in a USB cable to the watch and then to the computer to obtain the data from the watch. Also, it charges the watch at the same time. Now, unlike Nike, the Garmin website does not start up right away. You have to go and start it yourself. And it's called Garmin Connect. You start it up, you log in, you connect to your watch, get the data. As you can see here, so I'm asking it to look at the watch. Let's see what data is on the watch. And from here I can then select the newest run or some run from the past and upload it to the site. If you've uploaded runs in the past or any data, it remains on the site so you can access it just like the Nike site. Any place in the world you can access the site and look at your data. You don't always have to be at your own computer. That's the benefit with these websites. So as soon as the information is uploaded, it takes just as long as the Nike. I'll get a little notice telling me this is what is on the watch. There's only one new run. Do you want to upload it? Yes. So I get to pick it. Garmin is good for this. The Nike doesn't allow you to see what your runs are on the watch. You just hope for the best that Nike uploads it. So then Garmin uploads it and there's my run. All the data is displayed on the left and the run is on the right showing the map. Below on the screen you can also see some charts. You have your elevation chart and You can see your pace and whatnot. One of the great things, just like the Nike site, if you want to see your run in as it actually occurred in real time, you click on the player function. It's going to load up the player, which is basically going to show you your run in real time and the data happening in real time as your run was occurring. So there's my elevation in green, my pace was in blue, so elevation goes up, my pace probably will go down. At the bottom of the screen you can see my speed, elevation at the very, very bottom, not where the mouse cursor is pointing, but far, far down on the screen. And you can see a GPS view of the run. And if I hit the play button, then the run will actually commence and all the data will be shown in real time. So the run is taking place as it was going. The red cursor is me running, and as it's moving it shows the elevation going up and down, the speed, total time, whatnot. So it's a great device to review your run and have all your data in one spot, just like on the Nike site, to have a look and see how well you did. One great thing about Garmin over Nike is that Garmin allows you to export your data. You can see here I can export it in two different files, plus I can send it to Google Earth. You can't do that on Nike. You can never obtain your data. You have to look at the website. Also on Garmin you can share with a ton of items, not only Facebook and Twitter, but many more, whereas on Nike you can only share on Facebook and Twitter. The data is very difficult to compare because they're almost identical. Garmin's distance was 2.67 kilometers, average pace of 5 minutes and 44 seconds and 219 calories burnt. Nike's site, what we're looking at here, is distance 2.76 kilometers, average pace of 5 minutes 40 seconds and 220 calories burnt. And if we look on the Garmin Create Your Own Map, this says it's about, the route is 2.7 kilometers if I create a route manually. And if I go on Nike and create a route manually, which both have the option to do, Nike comes back and says, hey, if you draw a route, it's 2.74 kilometers. So I think they're both using different maps, so obviously the distances are going to be slightly off, but regardless, the results are almost identical.
So both watches have a large display. The Garmin has a very large display for people like me with glasses who do not run with glasses. And the Nike watch also has a very large display, as you can see. Garmin display, Nike display. Both watches show you all the information you want. The Garmin you can set 4 screens on it with different data, and the Nike you can only have 2 screens, but you can have the data change, or you can select it yourself as you're running to see what you need to see. Both are great. As for picking up GPS satellite signals, the Nike is a bit faster than the Garmin, only because the data is downloaded. As for accuracy, both are excellent. The Nike allows you to wear a sensor in your shoe, and it comes with a sensor, so that if you're running through a tunnel, the Garmin will stop connecting to the satellite and no longer provide you a readout for that period. It will have to guess. Whereas the Nike will just switch over to the sensor and use the sensor readout from there. Both of these base their calories burnt on by inputting your date of birth and your weight. And that's something you do either into the watch. With the Garmin you have to do it in the watch, and the Nike you do it on the website, and everything works out. When it comes to taking the data off your watch, the Garmin is obviously better. Garmin allows you to keep your own data. You can keep it on your computer. You can share it to more people than you can with the Nike. Nike is very restrictive. The data's on the watch. You can look at your runs on the watch, but you can't look inside your watch from your computer and pick a specific run or something from the past. As soon as the run is uploaded, that's it. It's gone. So Garmin more flexible to share your runs and share your data. Nike very restrictive. Hopefully in the future Nike will fix that. Reliability for websites. Garmin, never a problem with the website, works every time. Nike, It's hit and miss. The website is Flash-based. They have a new website coming out that's HTML5. Won't be out till the summer of 2012. Right now their website is Flash-based and it encounters all sorts of problems, especially with data. People have difficulties. That will be fixed. It's hit and miss. This is concrete. So, final thoughts. Both are a great watch. This is an older watch. This is a newer watch. Technologies are great. If you're a runner, I would recommend the Nike. If you're a runner and a cyclist and a few other sports, then of course the Garmin is probably better because it has more options in it. Waterproof, somewhat waterproof, great for running in the rain. This you can actually take it in a swimming pool and it'd be fine. This I probably wouldn't recommend it, but both good watches. Can't go wrong.